Hi, it's your boy SR Abdallah. You're welcome to this video tutorial. If you're just joining my channel, you're welcome. If you've been subscribed already, I want to say big thank you for watching my videos and liking and giving me support all the time. And if you're about to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Here you get fresh new mixing tips to give you a good start as a music producer. I've been producing since 2010. It's been up and down, had major success. I've worked with Fiverr for over 4 years and I've produced beats over more than 100 artists globally. I'm going to be showing you those tricks that I've been able to use to offer those services and make my clients always satisfied and want to come back for more. The purpose of this video is to answer basic questions like how do you simplify your mixing sections, how to speed up your work process, and the other one is how do you group and categorize your bosses. I'm going to show in this particular example how you can group them and mix them effectively. Let's just dive right into it. I'm going to be introducing the materials. First of all, you have to understand your material, the datas and the stems you're working on. I'm going to import stems. So what I have to do is just minimize this for FL Studio. Okay. Now this instrumental is produced by B Note, a co-producer of mine. It's called Quit. First you have to do is to route the instrument to mixer track. Double click on one of it and then Control Alt and C. It changes the color temperature, makes the interface friendly for you to see properly and then make better decision. Now all of them are highlighted. You go to the mixer track, select this number one on the mixer track. You hold on Control Shift and L. Paste all the instruments across the mixer track. So let's just compact a little bit. We could see the whole interface. What we need to do now, we have to find, I know we have the drum boss, the melody boss, that's the instrument, the side instruments and the middle instrument, the bass. When I hear different type of textural basses, I try to make about 2 or 3 different bosses of bass mixed properly because there's every tendency for the sounds to have issues. So once two sounds are fighting for the same space, so I'm going to create this boss. Just create the drum boss, the main drum boss, and then we have the percussion boss. We call the percussion boss. We call it, all right. Then the melody boss, and then you can call it mix. Just put it that way. We create the reverb send, and then you create the delay send. Then you create the bass boss. You could just left click on this, you get different colors, just your satisfaction. You can also change the symbols of this instrument. Okay, you just put it there. So next is you can highlight this bosses. So I just hold on Control Shift, then I click on the ones I want to highlight. I'm going to dock them to the right. Let's save our project. Quick mix. All right, so yeah, here we go. So what we do, we need to identify these instruments and then send them into these bosses. We can listen to them individually. There's just an FX, we call it FX box. We have to create an FX boss. Oh yeah, there's SFX. You just send it there. This is normal to the right. So all right, so we listen. So we send it to. One thing I normally do just to get this cleaned out clipping, what I normally do, I put the fruity limiter and then I take the ceiling off. I put it on the current. This is the current, not on the master, and then take this to 6 dB of gain. The reason is once you get good volume and accurate volume, so you don't have that clipping issues, or you want to get the best performance for your instruments. So let's just put that aside. So let's just listen and group. The first thing we are doing actually right now is we are grouping our instrument. So this goes to the SFX. The other one, let's listen to this. It's also a good instrument. We just send them the side instruments. It's a side instrument. They're just windy, not too strong. So let's listen to this. These are vocal samples. Okay, that's a roll. That's number 4. Send it to our drum boss. So go to the next one. These are glides. Okay, these are instruments. You can send this. Okay, you send it to the instrument, the main melody mix. That's the guitar. That's our number 7. You send the guitar. You send it to the main melody mix. Okay, those are reverse. We can send them to the side instrument. That's the side melody mix. That's a habit I normally do most times. I try to save. So when we started using FL, the standards of FL was still coming up, and we just have to do save every few steps we take. We just do Control S and save. But I think there's a way you can set it inside your setup. It saves every 5 minutes as a program. That's a drum. So let's take that to the percussion boss. Okay. We'll send this to our drum boss. This is 11. We send it to our drum boss at the drum boss mix. What's the next one? The next one is the SFX. SFX. Yeah, our sound effects. The SFX boss. Okay, that's a pack. We send it to the drum mix. There's an effect clapboard. We can send them to our SFX boss. This is our kick to the drum boss. Oh, that's a peck. We'll send it to our peck boss. I'll send that to our peck boss as well. Peck boss. Okay, this is one of the ring shots. We send that I think it's a major ring shot. We can send them to our main drum boss. Then what else? We can send this to our peck is a peck. We can send it to peck boss. Just another rim shot. You can send them to our peg boss. So we just have that. Definitely see the reason why I'm sending that there. Okay, that's a roll. You can send that to our drum boss too, because they're all drums. You can send this to our side instruments just to get that. This is our bass. So send it to our bass. Okay, our sub bass drum. There's a chord. We'll send the chord to our melodic boss. So I'll send it to our side instruments, really. Core instruments, just effects and all. To send it to our main melody mix. As a main instrument, we could send that to us. All right, let's forge ahead. Before we proceed, I'm going to create the initial audio so that we can test when we have the B part, that's the before and after, so that we can see the differences. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to the master. I just click on amp to record, Alt R. We take it on 512. Okay, let's just rename this our A. Okay, let's just send a color. We just take it to the top. Let's take it to the top. I'm just going to drag it to the top. Then I'll mute it. The things I normally do is I load up the limiter on the current, not on the master. Take off the ceiling and increase the gain to 6 dB. The reason for this is to hear our instruments in their best volume. Just to trick your instrument that they're actually going to be high, or you're just trying to sit them properly in the mix. All right. So what we want to do now is to listen to the drum, play everything. Just listen to the drum. You solo it. You can just press Alt S to solo. So listen to okay, these are the main drums. Okay, let's listen to the percussion too. So mix, then I route the percussion back to the main mix drum, because you're going to have this compressor that will glue them together to make them sound like they are one group of players making the sounds and the same texture and glue together. So let's listen to our drums. I want to listen to the kick. We can watch our meter from here. Aim at 6 dB. See how okay. Just reduce it to 6 dB so we can see. All right, our kicks on dB, the 6 dB. Okay, you have to find a comfortable volume for that. I'm using my ears, but I'm aiming around minus 9 dB. Minus 9 dB. The other one is minus 6 dB. You see? All right. Okay. This is the roll. So we just take the roll down. Generally, mixing is all about volume balance and volume control. So if you don't get that, or you already missed it. So let's listen to the percussion. It has to be around 9 to sound hard. It gives that bounce. So you have to make it sound. So I'm actually mixing the volumes in complement of the rest of the volumes. The limiter is amplifying individual volumes. You can see how they sound better or how they sound worse. But once you play this as the general master, so this is the limiter, this is a current is going to amplify the master. So they are going to be in a group. Let's play in a group. Relative volumes. You can just use any gain input, just add 6 dB at the current and then work on individual tracks, matching them relatively. We've been able to send them to the drum. So let's just add the bass and see how the bass relates. Comfortable volume for the bass. Let's just see how the glide works. So our guitar is so when it's amplified, this up. So let's take it out. Okay, that's a vocal sample. It's 22. So what we do next is pan. So our chords. Take our chord slightly to the right. Our bass always at the center. So one thing about mixing is you have to be particular what you're doing. You just don't make things because you know them to see if you're solving a problem. If you're not solving a problem, I don't necessarily think you should go extra step to do so many skills, because once you do too much, it spoils it. So the little, you bring out the best of it. Now, let's create a boss for our vocal samples. I guess there's a reason why I want to do that. We call it vocal sample, vocal samples. Okay, we'll send it to the right, we'll dock it to the right. We'll send number 3, take it and send it to the vocal sample, to our vocal sample. So these are our vocal samples. There's 1 trick pro MB. Then you select the middle part, because that's where you want your frequency to be. So you solo it, and then you can expand or you compress. Let's just compress and just take it up a bit. a compressor bit, listen to it. Then we can add our reverb on top of it too. Okay, increase the decay. So we can narrow down the band, so we. So you see, it has that center focus, and you're not clouding everywhere. It's not so spread around the spectrum. It gives you space, more space for your vocal. So we want to make our guitar interesting. So now that we've done the volume balance, we can just take off the limiter from the send. I'm going to create a boss send for our guitar. Just send our guitar, just route it to the other side. So there's this trick I want to actually make, parametric EQ with British stereo shaper. So we kind of make this radio, then yeah, just open it a bit. Our shaper, we want to take it to the right. Just listen to it and then just separate it. Delay it. What you do, you just mix the volume. So it gives you that. So it's time to mix our drum. We add some glue compressor to it. We're going to be using the TR5 boss compressor to the glue preset here. This is glue. Then you can use decapitator. That's what I normally use from Sound Toy Tin Till. I just add that. Use that. So let me just. You could just mix it up. So it just gives you this brightness. It gives this brightness and some lights. Okay, the other thing I like to do about my kick is I try to put in the Fab Pro. Okay, yeah. So when I make this kind of shape, just make sure it's around 6 dB and not too deep, because yeah, okay, just to give that clarity for the bass. The other part I normally do, I make this kind of shape, then I make it dynamic, then this shape, then I try to make a boost around 80. So you just have to listen properly. Just make this shape, alright? Before, then after. Yeah, again, staging control, just a little bit, reduce it a little bit. So for our lighter kind of percussions, I just take this decapitator and then yeah, just add a little bit of it there. Sometimes I use the shaper. Okay, I use the shaper. They just give it this space. You go to width, then use one of this. Okay. Okay, another thing I like to add a low lift on the drum just to give it weight. I just look for this density, then mix it. I just mix it properly. can add a low lift on our bass as well. Okay, add a density. The other problem I see is probably there's a clash between the bass and the kick, but not in all cases. We can actually just find that frequency to cut down, tame it a little bit. The Fab Pro EQ3. So sidechain to the bass, then now the Fab EQ3. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did for the others. Okay, so let's just listen. See, there's a clashing frequency around here, so let's just control it. We are going to create some sort of a little bit dark on it. Cut it a bit. Yeah, make sure this button is on, and then you can control this. So there's a sidechain for your kick and your bass. When you choose good samples, you don't have to do too much. Sometimes you don't even have to do any sidechain. Getting on with the chord is very, very important. They have to be outstanding. Parallel compression on the chord to give it that, because it's outstanding. So we're going to create a bus for our chord. Okay, let's change the color. So to look for a compressor, C2 compressor. So let's just listen. You go to special, you go to parallel comp. So you can add a shaper on it. You can add some shaper, just send it to the sides. Even though you put it on mono, you can hear the chord, because the chord is the soul of the song. So let's work on the glide. There's a frequency, the bass and the glide frequency. You have to find a way to max them. You sidechain the bass to the glide, add your Pro Q3 sidechain. You can see clashing frequency around here. Make a special or dynamic chord, then you make it special, the mid side, it's sidechain to you can make another mark, make it unique, and then make it special, take it to the stereo. Now you're going to expand it. Okay, and then yes, at the mix box and the side box, you can actually sidechain this to this your Pro, the same thing. You could just do the dynamics, just take the other side of it. You could make another special one. Side melody, you take this particular portion, you put it on the mid, and the other pass is on the side. Make sure this is on, and then you just same as this. Okay, so let's listen to it. The sound of our guitar, we can send it to the side as well. We have to create our reverb, so I'm going to use the Fab Pro. Okay, then the Fruity EQ. Okay, just one of this. Yeah, we'll send all the mix all the way up to 100%. So mix adjusted from this particular knob. For the delay part, you can actually take this, the Fruity delay, just leave it at the default, or mix our delay. Take it just a little bit of it, because it doesn't need too much. There's a little bit of it, a little bit of it. So yeah, on the vocal sample, we'll use a little bit of it. So for the melody, I normally like to put on the volcano. So I like to put this volcano, then the bass you can go to audio enhancer. Basically I don't do too much. What I do at the master, I just I add the fruity limiter, the fruity soft clipper, a compressor, a glue compressor. You make sure your Pro MB is on a solo state, then you set. Let's just do what I do. It's listing. Okay, there's a threshold. Just use the settings, and then the attack and the release, then the range. Is that 0 for the compressor? You use this MS parallel glue. You go to mastering, check for MX parallel, turn the knob till you can tame it. Make sure the threshold is at 0, the ratio 4. Set the limiter properly. You have to watch the limiter and the soft clipper so that you can work properly. So I'm going to render it. Control Alt, then C. Okay. So for the A and B comparison, you have to give this dynamic, you have to create space in consideration of the artist and when the engineer works on the song. So you have to get this dynamic range, this beautiful space. This is how I got my subscribe, like the video. Thank you. ASR dollar.